This is Devlog 3 of Lightblade. In my last devlogs, I made the first room and some starter enemies, but the gameplay is still sparse, as the player is invincible from everything. So today we are fixing that by adding an HP system and a damage system. Let's start with the HP. For now it is pretty simple, you have HP and going in this hazard lowers it. And while I would expand on this and add regen and knockback, since this is a YouTube video, I think the UI would be a next great choice. The UI might have been the hardest part of making this video just because it was the first time of me using actual UI objects and not just fake UI. The UI should contain some objects that tell us how much HP we have. So I drew some placeholder HP, did some code, and now they appear by themselves. In games like Hollow Knight, the HP that you see on the screen is equal to the HP that you have, but I want to implement something more like Terraria HP, where and the individual health points give you a rough idea on how much HP you have left. When I take damage, the UI shows that, but if damage is too insignificant, it will just not show anything because you barely took any damage. With that done, I moved on to knockback. I was luckily able to repurpose the enemy knockback from my last video, which made the overall process a lot easier. This is also the first time the player can be briefly stopped from moving, and here it is working. Alright, second try. Haha, real funny, it's going the wrong direction. Alright, here we go. What happens when you hit a hazard depends on the game, but most send you back to a safe spot after taking some damage. So I set up a fade function, made a trigger that saves a safe spot to teleport to, and made it so you can't move until you are placed properly in the new safe space. And as you can see, it is working beautifully. The death condition works pretty similar to the hazard respawn, but instead it triggers when you have 0 HP, so it was just about repurposing the code that I had already made. And finally, the regen system. The game would be pretty brutal if you couldn't regen. Games differ wildly on this mechanic. Some like Hollow Knight give you the ability to heal, but others make you heal passively. I decided to combine these two. You hit the enemies to get HP surplus, and that surplus is converted passively into regular HP. And that is the work for this devlog. Now I have an actual gameplay loop. The player can get hit and lose HP, but it can also fight back and regain it. But wow, you made it to the end of this video. That probably means you liked it, so you might like some of my other devlogs. They didn't get nearly as much attention, so I'd love you to check them out. The next devlog will likely be on room transitions, so subscribe for that and I'll see you there.